We have kids on college campuses today who are experiencing very difficult times. The state of Israel is being delegitimized. The problems with divestment. And our students are not really equipped, our Jewish students, to respond in intelligent, connected ways. That's a very, very big challenge. And the Jewish Agency is also in partnership, I think now, with Hillel, with Masa, and with the federations, and I think with Hadassah too, if I'm not mistaken. In terms of this challenge, how do you meet it? What are you going to do?
First of all, as you probably know, I know a lot about this challenge because in 2002, Ariel Sharon asked me to coordinate the work on combating anti-Semitism. And after some studies and making my first trips to different campuses in America, I came to him and I said, I believe the major battlefield which we Jewish people have today is in American universities. It looked like a surprise to him, but he gave me a lot of support. And since then, I was on 70 different campuses, and I participated in numerous debates and faced many demonstrations, and had debates with the students and with the professors, with Jews and with non-Jews. And I do know how big is the danger that young Jew who was not strongly affiliated, when he came to the university, he decides to disconnect himself or herself from anything Jewish, from anything connected to Israel. As one student told me, for me as a liberal Jew, it's better to live in the world where Israel doesn't exist. And that is a challenge. That is a challenge to turn him from Jew who is confused and embarrassed to Jew who is proud of his connection to his people and to his state. And I do know from my experience that it is possible if we have a hard core of young Jews on the campus who know how to debate, who know the argument, who are not afraid to stand up and to discuss, the situation can be changed.
On that note, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with the remainder of our program right after this brief message.
The Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County makes so much possible every day.
Connecting more than 1,600 area middle and high school students to social, educational, and volunteer programs through the Jewish Teen Initiative.
Working with area congregations to engage the community in Jewish life through the Synagogue Institute.
But we need your help. Volunteer your time. Pledge your support. Make a difference. Thank you for helping us build community together. Thank you for your generous support.
Welcome back to Mosaic. Prior to the break, Natan, we were talking about the college campuses and how we engage the young students and how we impact them with the idea that Israel is the epicenter of our lives.
So here, look, first of all, there are many good initiatives and activities on the campus. Stand With Us group, Caravan for Democracy, David Project. But they are like coming and leaving, different events. We decided in the Jewish Agency that we need constant presence, permanent presence of our fellows, of our young Israelis who after the army, after their first degree, those who know how to debate, how to influence, how to involve people. We are training them. They're coming through Hillel, it's our partnership with Hillel. They're coming to work for 1 or 2 years on the campus. In this year,
so they come to the campuses, from Israel.
From Israel. In this year, their challenge is to bring as much of Israel as possible to the campus, to bring as many Jewish students to Birthrights, Masa, and other programs of Israel experience to Israel. and maybe the most important thing, to create a cadre, a group of young Jews who are ready to debate, who are ready to fight, who are not silent, to break this atmosphere of fear and silence and doublethink. I'm very glad that we succeeded to double this program in 1 year. Now we are in 40 universities.
40
In
universities.
40. My aim is that in the next few years we will reach 100 universities, that practically every university where there is 1,000 Jewish kids and more, there will be this program of Israeli fellows on the campuses. And I hear from our ambassador, Michael Oren, I hear from many other people what a change is happening in the university if there is constant, permanent work of all the forces together against this campaign of demonization and, in fact, distancing Jews from their state.
Let me ask you something. Just explain, for my edification, how Masa and Birthright work, and what makes them so successful.
Look, it looked like a childish, crazy idea, the birthrights. I remember when Charles Bronfman and Michael Steinhardt came to Israel 12 years ago with this idea that we will send our American kids for free trip, 10 days trip to Israel. They'll become better Jews, but we want the Israeli government also to pay its share for this. How many people in the government are saying, isn't it crazy? We, Israeli government, will pay money to rich American Jews in order they'll send their kids for free trip? It's almost anti-Zionist idea. And I am very proud by supporting this crazy, childish idea from the very first day. We came to Bibi Netanyahu, and his first government signed this historical letter about supporting of this birthright. Since then, 250,000 kids came for 10 days.
250,000.
And this year it will be like another 35,000, hopefully in the next few years, because of major efforts of philanthropists, Israeli government, and Jewish Agency.
And the Federation.
On Jewish Agency, it is federations. Of course, look, by the way, all our money in the end are from federations. And the government is matching them. So federations are our main partner. So, and you can see now statistics, how this 10 days trip of many kids who are absolutely unaffiliated, who wanted to go to Paris but they had no money, and so they go for free trip to Israel, how these 10 days changed their life. Why? Because like we in the Soviet Union, they suddenly discover their identity. They find out that their story, Jewish story, is much bigger, much more exciting than simply their studies in Sunday school before Bar Mitzvah. So that there is history, there are people, there is exciting society, there is something that it is easy to be proud of. And that's changing their life. Now, it's not enough. It's good for the first impulse. But then you want more meaningful.
You have to have a follow-up. Yeah.
So here comes Masa project of Jewish Agency with the Israel government. For every dollar that we raise in federation or in a private philanthropist in America, government immediately gives us another $1. And Jewish students are coming for gap year or for postgraduate year to study in Israel on different professions. We at this moment have almost 200 different tracks. For everybody, for every Jewish student who wants to come to study, we can find his or her own track. It can be in dancing, and it can be in physics, it can be in culinary, it can be in anything. We have enough interesting programs, institutions for those who want to study. And while they are studying their profession, we also try to do everything that they'll be more proud Jews. At this moment, it's already more than 10,000 Jewish youngsters are coming on this program. Israeli government is ready to match money up to 20,000 students. For this, we have to raise more money. And just recently was a study, very interesting study, which shows that for those who are coming on birthrights and then on Masa, their Jewish identity in terms of marrying Jewishly, supporting your community, in being involved in Israeli advocacy is on the same level as for those who studied 12 years in day school. Wow. 91% marry Jewishly, 70% are involved in community. Can you imagine how much money you can save?
What an impact, you know, when you
Yeah,
think
that's
about
a
it.
very important impact, and we want, of course, to broaden this program. And as I said, it's the only program where for every dollar which American Federation gives us, Israeli government immediately matches with other dollar.
No, that's really remarkable. I know on our particular Federation campus here, we have 2 young women that are here to influence and to interact with the students that are part of Palm Beach County. And it's very, very successful.
Yeah, well, it's true. You have 2 young girls here. We have more our MSRs in Florida.
Uh-huh.
I think that we have like 10 different activists on the campuses and in the communities and in schools here. But we also have 1,200 MSRs who go to your summer camps, not only in Florida, but all over America.
All over, yeah.
So I think, and we have more and more young American Jews who are coming to Israel. I think this encounter between young Israelis and young Jews in America is the most powerful tool to strengthen the Jewish pride and Jewish identity on both sides.
It was interesting. I interviewed Wayne Firestone, who
Yeah.
is the
Our
executive
partner in
director
this program.
of Hillel, and he was talking about the fact that Netanyahu had called a conference on this very same thing in Israel, and that's exactly the challenge that everybody is aware of now, and apparently you're doing a great job. I have to tell you, I'm very proud of you. You know, when I look at all your books lined up here, I know you have another book as well, but nonetheless, you have changed the world, Natan, not only in the very, very early years when you were fighting for the freedom of the Soviet Jewry, but now you're fighting for Jewish identity, which is really miraculous. Did you ever think you'd come this far? When you were...
Well, you know, I started from the top. I was political prisoner of Zion, so you cannot be higher than this. Since then, as I said, I want to go down. And I'm very happy on going down and discovering all the challenges of real world, of real Jewish world. And I'm very happy that I can make a little bit of a difference.
And you go and you travel around to other communities in the United States and speak about the same thing?
Yeah, well,
To
sometimes
encourage
it's
them.
tiring.
It's tiring.
Tiring, but it's very important, and I enjoy doing it. The only bad thing is that that my family definitely prefers me to spend more time in Israel, and I try to make sure that on Shabbat I'm at home, especially this year when finally we became also grandparents.
Oh, my.
So, yeah, from the early age of my daughters, I was explaining them that we wasted a lot of time on the struggle. We are very old parents, and so we cannot wait with grandchildren. So from their bat mitzvah, I was insisting on grandchildren. So they got the message at the age of 20 and 21, they got married. At the age of 22 and 23, each of them brought us grandson. So just now it becomes absolutely impossible to take a Vital from grandsons and that she will be with me on these trips. So that's why I try to make these trips as short as possible.
Well, you're doing a great job, and I wish you a lot of luck
Thank
and
you.
pleasure. And thank you for being with us as well. Be with us again next week when we have another look into the Jewish world. Goodbye from Mosaic.